Hey guys, Eric here, and I figured it's Superman month, and it's almost towards the end of the month. It's actually the 19th when I'm recording this. Is it the 19th? It is the 19th. Anyways, I've been dropping the ball on Superman month when it comes to my YouTube channel, so I figured what better way to make that up than review possibly not only one of the best Superman stories of all time, but my personal favorite Superman story of all time, and that would be none other than All-Star Superman. This is the Absolute Edition. This is the, I double-dipped on this. This is one of the first times I've ever actually double-dipped on anything in my collection. I have Green Lantern Rebirth behind me too, which I've, I think, triple-dipped on. I have all my single issues collected as a huge never mind, that's a whole nother talk for another day. We'll actually probably review Green Lantern Rebirth one of these days. But yes, whoops. Let me get the mirrored shot out of the way. There we go. And yeah, like I said, this is the Absolute Edition, and it's like I also said, it's the first time I ever double dipped on anything in my collection. I have the single issues somewhere in the filing cabinet right over there, as well as this huge, gigantic beast. But let's jump right into it by taking the book out of its protective hollow casing, whatever you want to call that, and hold the book right side up. This is the front cover. This is the back cover with Lois and Superman. It's, as you can tell, if you don't know the artist, this is actually Frank Quietly, who, in my opinion, is probably one of the best comic book artists working today, whenever he does work, definitely the last decade. And I mean, he and Grant Morrison was the writer of All-Star Superman. Frank Quietly did the art, and their letterer was, I gotta get all the, should really be prepared for these things. It was digitally inked and colored by Jamie Grant, lettered by Phil Balsman and Travis Lanham, and there's an introduction by Chip Kidd, who's done a lot of work with Alex Ross and a whole bunch of other people. He did the mythology book with Alex Ross. He's done a whole bunch of those like cool giant mega books that give you like the history of the DC universe and other kinds of stuff. And obviously Superman was created by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, which I did not have to look up. I don't know why I was reading it right off of the book when I know who Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster are. I've read the fantastic Book of Crime by Brad Moore. Did I really almost call Brad Meltzer Brad Morrison? I'm alright, I promise. But yeah, All-Star Superman is my absolute favorite Superman story of all time, and it is everything you could possibly want in a Superman story and more. Not only is Frank Quietly on art, because he's worked with Grant Morrison on We 3, and New X-Men, and Earth 2? Yeah, Earth 2, and All-Star Superman. Whenever they get together, it's instant magic, the two of them. And, I mean, in here, just, hold on one sec. There we go. Just look at some of this. It's absolutely beautiful. I mean, the story itself is basically Superman on a 12-issue journey after he finds out that he's gonna die. And that's not much of a spoiler because it's spelled out in the first issue. And we just go through this crazy journey with Superman, even as Clark Kent at moments. Bizarro's in there. Doomsday is used in a really interesting way. Lex Luthor is in prison at one point. There's just so much love pouring from this book of everything that you could possibly imagine when it comes to Superman. There's plenty of Golden Age material. There's plenty of the crazier stuff, like Lizard Men and a Legion of Supermen, which was a really interesting part of the story, and probably one of my favorites is when they introduce the the League of Supermen or Legion of Supermen, whatever you want to call them. And I mean, it's fantastic. You can tell, like, I get flustered when trying to describe the book because of how good the book is. And I mean, it's 12 issues. It's a 12-issue story arc. Lois Lane is perfect in this, except for some of the stuff she goes through. It's really, like, some of the stuff when it comes to what Superman and Clark try to reveal to her at moments. She becomes Superwoman at one point, because for just one day she gets to have Superman's powers, and that's one of my favorite parts of the book. And it leads to one of my favorite panels where he sets her down so she can go to sleep and just kisses her on the forehead and basically says, "Happy birthday, Lois Lane." And it's one of the most beautiful panels in the whole book. And flipping through it right now, just realizing just why I love this story as much as I do. There's Planet Eaters. Lex is tried for his crimes. Superman, as Clark Kent, has to protect Lex Luthor at one point in the story in jail to make sure he doesn't get killed. Parasite's in the story. It's absolutely beautiful storytelling, and you can tell just how much Grant Morrison loves Superman in this specific story. Nothing else. I will talk about none of the other Superman stuff because I can't, because I've only read his first issue of Action Comics. And I've read Final Crisis, though. Final Crisis, I'll have to review it one of these days when I finally get to sit down and reread the whole thing, because I remember reading it when it came out issue by issue and just kind of having this weird reaction to it as everybody else did. But yeah, All-Star Superman, and there's even an adaptation of it, one of the direct-to-DVD movies, that is actually really well done, and I believe it's one of the, if not the last thing, one of the last things Dwayne McDuffie worked on before he passed away. And I could not recommend All-Star Superman enough. And if you don't already have it in your collection, if you're even the most casual comic book reader on the planet, do yourself a favor and go hunt down All-Star Superman, for it is a beautiful Superman story, and it's up there with some of the best, like, comic book runs of all time, in my opinion. It's up there with Walt Simonson. I always forget how to say his name, but his Thor run, or as you can see behind me, there's a whole bunch of stuff like James Robinson and Tony Harris's Starman. I'm blanking completely. Fabian Nicieza's New Warriors, which I just finished the other day. I have some Joe Kelly Deadpool behind me. Miller's Dark Knight. So much good stuff. It's up there with so many of those stories, and I couldn't recommend it higher than I already do. So with that, guys, that's the end of this one, and I will see you guys next time as I actually redelve into World of New Krypton. So yeah, if you like this video, leave a thumbs up. Definitely subscribe for more. I'll be doing a whole bunch more stuff as soon as I'm able. I'm really trying to do, hopefully, if not 1 episode a week, 2 episodes a week. And thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. I host a podcast where I talk to some of the people I've mentioned. And yeah, if you want to check that out, that'll be in the links down below. But as always, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next episode.